that he or she is existing. And that is not all. Every human being also begins to become aware that he or she is going to die. But that thought of death is very unpleasant. No one likes that. Everyone celebrates birthdays. They are very happy that they were born. And they sometimes thank God also for being born. But when they begin to grow old, they don't like that. And when they die, they don't like that. This is the problem. But birth and death are two ends of the same stick. They don't realize that every person who is born is going to die. So, birthday is not a thing to celebrate really. We should be crying about it, that we were born. This is the problem. So, the important thing is that these philosophers became really aware of the problem, but they could not find the solution. There was this philosopher called Kierkegaard who started talking about this existentialism, and he was a Christian, and ultimately he criticized Christianity. But at the end, when he tried to solve the problem, he said, the human intelligence is not able to solve this problem. We cannot prevent death. So the only hope is to take the leap of faith and let God solve the problem. So this is how he found the solution. But it was this Sartre, who claimed to be an existentialist, died as a Marxist. You see, they couldn't solve the problem. But really, it was the Buddha who really solved the problem. But he pointed out that each individual has to solve the problem by himself or herself. The Buddha cannot solve other people's problems. The Buddha can only solve his own problem, but he can teach others to solve the problem by themselves. But everything depends on the person. The Buddha can talk to the people, but if they don't follow his instructions, then they are not able to solve the problem. So it is like you can take the horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. So this is why the Buddha said, I am only a teacher. I can only teach. But the solution of the problem you have to do yourself. So it is really, ultimately, it is the evolution of the human being. The solution of the problem cannot take place suddenly. We have to gradually grow. Now, if there is a small child who is able only to crawl, cannot walk, cannot run, you can't force that child to start walking. You have to wait till the child gradually grows up. So in the same way, the practice of religion is a gradual process of growth and evolution. That is the important thing to understand. And there are really 4 main stages that we can speak of in this process of growth and evolution, which you find in all religions, not only in Buddhism, but it is in Buddhism that this can be explained without using all these mythology and other stories and things like that. The important thing is talking directly. And that is the first stage that you find in all religions is the stage of devotion. The devotional practice, which is really what I call a goal orientation. A goal orientation. And that is, we have to turn in a new direction. If we were going north, we have to start going south. That is the goal orientation. We have to change the goal. This is very important. Only thing is, I don't know how much time I have to go into this, but I'll try to put it in short. The goal orientation is really the understanding first the problem. What is the problem? Our problem is that our desires are coming in conflict with the reality that we observe. It is important to understand. When we, you see, we desire for permanence, but everything is impermanent because everything is dependent on conditions. So because our desire is in conflict with the reality of impermanence, what we have to do is not to change the world, like what the Western scientists are trying to do. We have to learn to change our desires. That is what the Buddha pointed out. So instead of trying to come in conflict with the world, we have to learn to adapt to the world. This is how evolution took place in the first place. All evolution, if you study the theory, modern theory of evolution, all plants and animals have been adapting to the circumstances. And that means you are changing what is inside to fit into what is outside. Not changing the outside to fit into what is inside. Now this is the difference between the Western way of scientific technology and all that, and the Buddha's Eastern way of changing the mind. Changing the mind. Now when we speak of the mind, we have to understand that there are two important parts of the mind that modern psychologists are also aware of, and the Buddha was also aware of. The Buddha used two words to refer to these two parts. Today some Buddhists are not even aware of that. And that is, the Buddha used the word mano to refer to the thinking part of the mind. And use the word chitta